Dear social justice warriors, I'm Prince of Queens, and on behalf of everybody who isn't a social justice warrior, I'm here to deliver a message that apparently you need to hear, which is that, more than anything, nobody thinks you're cool. You're done. The outrage trend is no longer appealing. Still, apparently you think you can accomplish something by kicking, screaming, attempting to get speakers shut down, partaking in pointless protests, attempting to get people fired from their jobs and dox them on the internet, and even committing violence in an attempt to get your way. But I'm here to let you know that it just isn't going to work. Why isn't your bullshit gonna work anymore? It's not necessarily because Trump won and we are hoping the law takes care of you when you do illegal stuff, because although that might be true in many instances, a lot of us aren't even Trump supporters. Neither are we necessarily going to fight fire with fire and do the same fucked up shit that you've done to people in return. Because although you'd probably get your asses kicked if you took on the vast majority of people who are fed up with your bullshit, we don't even need to stoop to your levels, and we honestly revel in watching your repeated public displays of stupidity as you call everybody a Nazi and discredit yourselves. We don't even particularly need to disempower your activist organizations or shut down your social justice courses at university or anything like that. Though I suspect that eventually the social justice indoctrinated intersectional feminist bullshit will die out naturally by Darwin's principles, as nobody decides to spend their money being trained by you people to lose their own critical thinking abilities. How am I so confident that your time is up? Honestly, it's simply because we think you've gone out of style. Sorry, it's more that we know you've gone out of style, and we have a lot of numbers to prove it. Your pathetic little cultural movement designed to destroy independent thought and humor not only failed politically in both Brexit and the United States presidential election, but you are drastically losing followers. If you look at the subscriber count on once popular YouTube channels like fourth wave intersectional feminist celebrity Cat Black, who prides herself on being YouTube's quintessential SJW, you'll note that she hasn't grown hardly at all over the past months, and her videos get very few views. Next, you can go take a look at social justice warrior opponent Blair White's channel, and you'll see that she has been growing super rapidly and getting a shitload of views. Similarly, the once self-proclaimed powerful feminist troll slayer of the entire internet, Lindy West, recently quit Twitter, citing complicated reasons about whatever the fuck she said it was all about. But let's face it, she's mostly no longer relevant as a socio-political grievance monger. She knows it, I know it, and you probably know it. Whether or not fourth wave intersectional feminist social justice warriors and their supervisor in the regressive left political spheres have any power might be a complicated story, but I suspect that they don't really have any power left. But even more so, politics flows downstream from culture, and nobody thinks that you idiots are cool anymore. You just aren't any fun, and apparently most people realize that by now. You say every television show and movie is sexist and try to discourage people from watching things they actually enjoy, like The Walking Dead and Suicide Squad. You object to basically every good comedian imaginable, forcing legends like Chris Rock and Jerry Seinfeld to stop making appearances at college campuses. You are so obsessed with hyper-analyzing music artists for their various flaws that you freaked out on Lady Gaga because her Super Bowl halftime show wasn't political enough for you. Nobody fucking likes you. Not even your own friends. Which is probably why you haven't had fun in the past 2 or 3 years. And I think you know it deep down. All you do is criticize people without showing the slightest bit of optimism for the future. And even when fucking Bernie Sanders offers you brats free college, a massively unrealistically inflated national minimum wage, and universal health care, you still manage to find an excuse to protest him and say he was problematic because he didn't pay enough specific attention to black people, because he's a fucking white male. You're the opposite of fun. And while you claim to be virtuous and wanting peace, when you don't get your way and somebody like Milo Yiannopoulos has the audacity to think he might have the right to deliver a speech on a college campus, you beat people unconscious and pepper spray a woman who wasn't even looking. And no, it wasn't a right-wing conspiracy to make you look bad. I know plenty of you fuckers, and nobody needs to help you out with that. You've shown yourselves for what you truly are long ago, and you just fucking suck. You aren't cool, and nobody strives to be like you. You're fucking racists who openly and unapologetically hate white people all the time, while holding racial minorities to a pathetically low standard of expectations as they torture mentally handicapped white people on Facebook Live. And then you excuse them torturing white people because, to you, you expect black teenagers to do such things and you won't even admit it was racism? You are sexist assholes who think it is completely okay to endlessly discriminate against men and ask for even more entitlements for women than they already have, like getting dudes arrested in New York for sitting wrong on the subway. You even tried to say that gay men are even more misogynistic than straight men and that they frequently sexually assault women. And you certainly aren't all that nice to transgender people when they cross you. What the fuck do you actually enjoy in life? Do you even like yourselves? I don't really think that you do, and I think that that's exactly why you keep losing every battle you attempt to fight. So even if you do keep going, even if billionaires do keep funding you and your loser-ass politicians, I want you to know something. The younger generation is tired of your shit, and they don't want to be anything like you. Freshmen in high school couldn't vote in this past election, but they will be able to vote in the year 2020, and they will not want to vote for anybody that resembles anything having to do with you. You are going out of style like it's going out of style. And all your talk about resistance and civil war is just that, talk. And if you try to use a show of force, you will just get beaten down with force quicker than you would have been naturally made socially obsolete by the slow tide of cultural irrelevance that is already waiting up around your ankles, and will soon drown you unless you get away from the beach. Nobody likes you. Nobody thinks you are hip to the times. Nobody has any patience for your racism, sexism, and other bigotries that you try to sell as a recipe for equality. Everybody just wants you to go away. So I suggest that for your own happiness and prosperity in life that you find a job as far away from politics or media as you can, and spend the next 4 years learning from your mistakes. Go live on an organic farm or something and learn the meaning of hard work. Volunteer at a homeless shelter or even an abuse shelter and learn for yourself what people in tough situations are really like. Maybe you could even go overseas and work with people who are legitimately struggling in a way you've never seen before. I have no problem with that. Just fucking stop trying to tell the American people what the hell to do with their lives, because even if you did have a few answers, which I guarantee that you don't, nobody is listening anymore because you are fucking pathetic. You're done. Fini. Your 15-year-old cousin who you taught how to sew punk rock patches onto his backpack doesn't even like you anymore. He thinks you're a loser. Come back when you have realized that you don't know fuck about shit and you're ready to learn. It's going to be a long 4 years for you. And the last thing we need to hear from you is for you to whine some more about patriarchy. We've already heard it. And, as always, everybody should feel free to drop me a comment. You can go ahead and whine in my comments. I don't really care. I can take it. And please stay tuned.